Hello friends, how are you? Welcome back. This video could change your life. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1-cent wheat penny value, an iconic U.S. copper coin with an unforgettable design, rich American history, and hidden treasures that many people still overlook. In this video, we'll explore the top 3 most valuable, expensive, and ultra-rare 1-cent wheat pennies ever discovered in the United States. These historic coins come in different color shades, rare varieties, and important mint marks like P, D, and S, details that collectors and investors look for. What's shocking is that even dirty, worn, or ordinary-looking wheat pennies could be worth thousands or even millions of dollars today. Many people spend them without knowing their true value. So before you ignore that old penny in your pocket or jar, stick around, because you might be holding a fortune in your hands. Backhand index pointing right. First up, coin number 1. The first coin we are revealing today is considered one of the most misunderstood yet secretly powerful wheat pennies ever struck. The 1951 1-cent wheat penny, a copper coin born in the heart of the United States during a time of rebuilding, change, and quiet wealth creation. At first glance, this coin looks ordinary. Many people have held it, spent it, or ignored it without realizing that some examples carry a story and a potential value that can shock even experienced collectors. This is not just a penny. This is a survivor of history, pressed into copper when America was reshaping its future after war and uncertainty. The S mint mark on this coin tells us it was struck at the San Francisco Mint, a place known among collectors for producing coins with lower mintages and subtle variations. While millions were made, only a tiny fraction survived in special conditions or rare forms. Over decades, most were damaged, cleaned, corroded, or lost forever. What remains today are coins that quietly sat in drawers, jars, and old collections, sometimes dark, sometimes dirty, sometimes overlooked, yet still carrying enormous interest because rarity is not only about age, but about survival, condition, and uniqueness. What makes the 1951 wheat penny truly fascinating is its copper composition and color range. Some examples appear deep brown, others reddish brown, and a very small number still show traces of original red copper glow. Collectors do not just look at the date. They study the surface, tone, strike quality, and mint character. Even coins that look worn or dirty can be valuable if they show the right traits, because dirt hides history, and history creates demand. A coin does not need to shine to be important. Sometimes the most valuable pieces look like they've lived a hard life. Now let's talk about why people whisper unbelievable numbers when discussing this coin. The truth is, not every 1951 wheat penny is worth a fortune, but certain rare variations, mint striking anomalies, and exceptionally preserved examples can reach values that most people would never imagine for a 1-cent coin. Coins with unusual texture, off-metal appearance, double features, or strange planchet behavior become legends in the collecting world. These are the coins that make headlines, the ones that change lives, and the reason collectors carefully inspect every wheat penny they find. There is also a powerful psychological element behind this coin's value. The wheat penny design represents stability, harvest, and growth, symbols that resonate deeply with collectors and investors. When combined with a respected mint mark and a mid-century date, demand rises naturally. Over time, fewer high-quality examples exist, and as demand continues, prices climb quietly but steadily. This is how ordinary coins slowly turn into extraordinary assets. Many people make the biggest mistake of all. They sell too quickly. A coin like this should never be rushed to market without understanding its true nature. Cleaning it, polishing it, or trying to make it look new can destroy its value instantly. Serious collectors want originality, even if that means dirt, darkness, or wear. That dirty look is often proof that the coin has never been altered, and originality is where real money lives. The story of the 1951 wheat penny teaches a powerful lesson. Wealth does not always announce itself. Sometimes it hides in silence, in copper, in small things passed down through generations. A single coin dismissed as pocket change can become a symbol of patience, knowledge, and timing. People who understand coins don't chase hype. They recognize potential before the world catches on. So if you ever come across a 1951 wheat penny, stop. Look closely. Do not spend it. Do not rush. That small copper coin may not just be a piece of history. It could be a turning point. Coins like this have the power to surprise, to educate, and in rare cases, to completely transform a person's financial story overnight. Sometimes, fortune doesn't come loudly. Sometimes, it whispers from a penny. Next up, the second coin in our list carries a different kind of power, one that doesn't shout, but pulls you in slowly. The 1952 One-Cent Wheat Penny, a copper coin struck during a quiet but important chapter in the story of the United States. This was a time when the nation was stabilizing, industries were growing, and everyday people were unknowingly preserving pieces of history in their pockets. The 1952 Wheat Penny was never meant to be special. It was created to circulate, to be spent, to be forgotten. And that is exactly why some surviving examples today command such intense attention. The D mint mark, showing that this coin was struck in Denver, plays a major role in its identity. Denver minted wheat pennies are known for strong strikes, bold details, and a personality that serious collectors recognize instantly. While many were produced, time has not been kind to most of them. Decades of circulation, improper storage, moisture, and careless handling destroyed the majority. What remains today are coins that tell stories through their surfaces, scratches, dark tones, uneven color, and worn edges that prove they lived real lives. One of the most fascinating things about the 1952 Wheat Penny is how deceptive it can be. To an untrained eye, it looks like a common brown penny, sometimes dark, sometimes dirty, sometimes nearly black. Many people toss it aside without a second thought. But collectors understand something most people don't. Value doesn't always live in beauty. Sometimes it lives in originality, in untouched surfaces, in copper that is aged naturally without interference. That deep brown or chocolate tone can actually be a sign of authenticity and long-term preservation. The copper itself is part of the magic. This coin was born in an era when U.S. cents still carried real copper weight, giving a solid feel and a warmth that modern coins lack. Over time, copper reacts with air, moisture, and environment, creating unique color patterns that can never be repeated. Some 1952 pennies develop rich, even toning. Others show unusual textures or faint anomalies from the minting process. These small differences are where serious value begins to form. What truly fuels the legend of this coin is the possibility of rare survivors. Coins that escape harsh cleaning, chemical damage, or over-polishing. When a wheat penny remains in its natural state for decades, even if it looks dirty, it becomes desirable. Cleaning destroys history. Dirt protects it. That's why experienced collectors warn again and again, never clean an old penny. The moment you try to make it shiny, you erase the very thing that gives it power. There is also a psychological weight to the 1952 Wheat Penny. It represents the last years before massive change in American coinage and culture. It's a symbol of patience, of slow growth, of value built over time rather than overnight hype. Investors who understand coins don't rush. They hold. They wait for the moment when rarity meets demand, and demand always grows as fewer original examples remain. Stories circulate in the coin world about wheat pennies found in jars, toolboxes, or old family collections. Coins ignored for decades, then suddenly recognized for what they are. While not every 1952 penny will change a life, certain rare conditions, unusual mint characteristics, or exceptional preservation can push values far beyond what most people believe possible for a 1-cent coin. This is where imagination meets reality, and where patience can be rewarded. The biggest danger is ignorance. People spend these coins every day without ever looking at the date or mint mark. They trade potential history for instant change. But those who pause, who look closely, who respect the coin's age and story, give themselves a chance to learn, to protect, and possibly to benefit from something small that carries enormous meaning. So if you ever come across a 1952 Wheat Penny, don't dismiss it. Don't clean it. Don't rush to sell it cheap. Hold it. Study it. Because coins like this remind us of a powerful truth. Fortune doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it waits quietly in copper in your hand. Next up, the third and final coin is the one that surprises the most because it hides its power better than any other. The 1953 One-Cent Wheat Penny, a copper coin struck quietly during a turning point in the story of the United States. By this time, wheat pennies were already a familiar part of daily life, passed from hand to hand without a second thought. People used them to buy bread, newspapers, and candy, never imagining that decades later, certain survivors from this year and mint will be studied, debated, and protected like treasures. This coin was born ordinary, and that ordinariness is exactly what makes its rare form so powerful today. The Denver Mint mark, the small but important D, gives this coin its identity. Denver coins are known for their boldness, their strength, and their no-nonsense character, and the 1953 D Wheat Penny is no exception. Most examples lived hard lives. They were dropped, scraped, buried in drawers, exposed to moisture, or thrown into jars where time slowly worked on their copper skin. What remains today are not perfect coins, but honest coins, coins that carry the marks of history, and sometimes those marks are what collectors want most. One of the most misunderstood ideas about coin value is that a coin must look clean to be valuable. The 1953 D Wheat Penny destroys that myth. Many valuable examples appear dark, uneven in color, or even dirty. That dirt often tells a story of originality. It means the coin was never cleaned, never polished, never stripped of its natural surface. In the coin world, originality is sacred. A naturally aged copper surface, even if rough or dark, can be far more desirable than a shiny coin that has lost its soul. The copper itself is where the emotion lives. This was a time when cents still carried real weight, real metal, and real presence. Over decades, copper reacts slowly with the world around it, creating colors that cannot be faked. Deep browns, soft reds, sometimes almost smoky tones. Each 1953 D Wheat Penny ages differently, and no two look exactly alike. Some develop unusual textures or subtle mint quirks that catch the trained eye. These small details are where legends are born. What fuels the almost mythical reputation of this coin is the possibility it carries. Most will remain modest collectibles, but a tiny number, those with rare striking behavior, unusual surfaces, or exceptional untouched preservation, can become objects of intense desire. These are the coins that collectors whisper about, the ones that cause people to recheck old jars and inherited collections late at night. Not because every coin will change a life, but because one coin can. There's also a deeper lesson wrapped inside the 1953 D Wheat Penny. It teaches patience. It teaches respect for small things. It reminds people that value is not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it hides in plain sight, ignored for decades, waiting for the right person to recognize it. Many fortunes and coins in life are lost not because they never existed, but because they were overlooked. The greatest danger with a coin like this is rushing, spending it quickly, selling it cheaply, cleaning it in an attempt to improve it. Every one of those actions can erase potential. Serious collectors move slowly. They study. They protect. They understand that time is the most powerful force in collecting. What seems ordinary today can become extraordinary tomorrow as fewer untouched examples remain. So if a 1953 D Wheat Penny ever finds its way into your hand, pause. Feel its weight. Look at its surface. Remember that this small copper disc has already survived more than most people realize. It has passed through history, through countless hands, through decades of change. And in rare cases, coins like this don't just tell stories, they rewrite futures. Fortune doesn't always come as gold or silver. Sometimes it comes as a quiet penny, waiting to be understood. See you in the next video.